The emerald tree boa is not a snake that announces itself. It does not chase, hiss, or dominate through movement. It exists as part of the forest itself, suspended in stillness, glowing green beneath filtered sunlight, waiting. In the dense canopies of the Amazon basin, where life competes vertically as much as horizontally, this snake has evolved into a specialist of patience and precision. It is not built for the ground. It is shaped for branches, shadows, and time. Evolution placed the emerald tree boa within the boa family, yet it diverged dramatically from its terrestrial relatives. While many boas rely on mass and strength across forest floors, this species moved upward. Over countless generations, its body adapted to arboreal life, lighter, laterally compressed, and supported by an exceptionally strong prehensile tail. Every curve of its spine reflects a life spent coiled above the forest floor, where falling is not an option and movement must be calculated. Its coloration is among the most striking in the reptile world. A vivid emerald green dominates its body, interrupted by white or pale yellow zigzag patterns that resemble broken sunlight filtering through leaves. This coloration is not decorative. It is camouflage refined to perfection. In the dappled light of the canopy, the emerald tree boa dissolves into foliage, invisible to prey and predator alike. Even experienced observers can stare directly at one without realizing it is there. The head of the emerald tree boa is distinct, broader than the neck, equipped with forward-facing eyes that provide depth perception uncommon in snakes. This binocular vision is critical for arboreal hunting, where judging distance between branches can mean the difference between a successful strike and a fatal fall. Heat-sensing pits along the upper lip allow the snake to detect warm-blooded prey even in total darkness, transforming the night canopy into a thermal map of opportunity. Behaviorally, this species embodies stillness as a strategy. It selects a branch, often above animal pathways or feeding routes, and coils itself into a signature saddle-shaped posture. The body forms tight loops along the branch, anchoring itself securely while leaving the head free. From this position, it may remain motionless for hours or even days. Energy conservation is paramount. Movement only occurs when success is likely. Hunting is ambush-based and extraordinarily precise. When prey approaches, typically birds, rodents, or small arboreal mammals, the emerald tree boa strikes with lightning speed. The bite is followed immediately by constriction. Unlike venomous snakes, this species relies on muscular strength to subdue prey, cutting off blood flow and oxygen with controlled pressure. The process is efficient, silent, and final. Once feeding is complete, the snake returns to stillness, digestion unfolding slowly over days. Diet shifts as the snake matures. Juveniles feed more heavily on small lizards, frogs, and birds, while adults target mammals such as bats, squirrels, and opossums. This dietary flexibility allows the species to persist across varying forest conditions. Yet despite this adaptability, it remains dependent on intact canopy systems. Without trees, the emerald tree boa cannot exist. Habitat selection reveals its ecological specialization. This snake is primarily found in lowland tropical rainforests, favoring areas near rivers and floodplains where prey density is high. The vertical complexity of these forests provides endless microhabitats, branches at different heights, varying humidity levels, and thermal gradients that the snake exploits for thermoregulation. It rarely descends to the forest floor, and when it does, it is vulnerable. Socially, the emerald tree boa is solitary. Individuals do not form groups or share territories. Encounters between adults are rare and usually limited to mating periods. Even then, interactions are brief. This solitude reflects both resource distribution and risk management. In the canopy, space is three-dimensional but limited. Competition is costly. Solitude is safer. Reproduction is slow and deliberate. Females give birth to live young after a long gestation period, investing heavily in each offspring. Litters are relatively small compared to other snakes, but newborns are fully formed, independent, and equipped with functional hunting abilities from birth. Interestingly, juveniles display different coloration, often reddish or brownish, providing camouflage suited to lower vegetation before they ascend into greener canopy zones as they mature. Growth is gradual. The emerald tree boa does not rush development. It matures over several years, building strength, coordination, and spatial awareness essential for arboreal life. Longevity in the wild is difficult to measure, but individuals can live for decades under stable conditions, a testament to a life strategy built on conservation rather than consumption. Despite its beauty, the emerald tree boa faces mounting threats. Deforestation is the most severe. Logging, agriculture, and infrastructure development fracture the continuous canopy this species requires. Fragmented forests isolate populations, reducing genetic diversity and increasing vulnerability. Additionally, illegal wildlife trade targets this snake for its appearance, often with devastating consequences for local populations. Ecologically, the emerald tree boa plays a subtle but crucial role. As a mid-level predator, it helps regulate populations of arboreal mammals and birds, maintaining balance within the canopy food web. Its presence indicates forest health. Where it thrives, complexity remains intact. The emerald tree boa is not aggressive toward humans. Encounters are rare and usually accidental. When threatened, it may strike defensively, but its first response is avoidance. In the wild, humans are not prey, not competitors, only disturbances passing through a world the snake has already mastered. This species represents a philosophy of survival defined by restraint. It does not overwhelm its environment. It blends into it. It does not dominate through force. It waits, observes, and acts only when success is assured. In the emerald shadows of the Amazon canopy, where life unfolds above the ground and time moves differently, the emerald tree boa remains suspended, silent, watchful, and perfectly adapted. Human interaction with the emerald tree boa has always been shaped more by imagination than reality. Unlike many large snakes that occasionally share open ground with people, this species lives above eye level, hidden among branches where few humans ever look. As a result, encounters are rare, and when they do occur, they are often accidental, an unexpected discovery during logging, research, or exploration. The snake's reputation, however, has traveled far beyond these rare meetings, fueled by its appearance rather than its behavior. The emerald tree boa is frequently mistaken for aggression because of its posture and readiness to strike when disturbed. In captivity and in defensive situations, it can be reactive, fast, and precise. This has led to exaggerated myths portraying it as dangerous or unpredictable. In truth, this reactivity is not hostility. It is a product of arboreal survival. In the canopy, there is no room for hesitation. A delayed response can mean falling, injury, or death. What humans interpret as aggression is simply a life adapted to narrow margins. Scientifically, the emerald tree boa has become an object of fascination. Its arboreal specialization offers insight into how snakes can diversify beyond ground-based niches. Studies on its muscle distribution reveal an emphasis on sustained grip rather than explosive force. Its tail functions almost like a fifth limb, anchoring the body while the front half operates independently. This division of labor within a limbless form challenges assumptions about movement and coordination in reptiles. Its sensory world is equally refined. The combination of binocular vision and infrared detection allows the emerald tree boa to operate effectively in low-light conditions where many predators fail. This sensory overlap creates redundancy, ensuring hunting success even when one sense is compromised by weather, foliage, or darkness. Such systems are not accidental. They are the result of millions of years of selective pressure favoring individuals who could read the canopy better than their competitors. Mythology around green snakes in tropical regions often associates them with spirits, guardians, or omens. The emerald tree boa's coloration and stillness contribute to these beliefs. In some local traditions, its presence is seen as a sign of an untouched forest, a living indicator that the land remains balanced. In others, it is feared simply because it appears suddenly, materializing from leaves as if the forest itself has come alive. The illegal wildlife trade has complicated this relationship. The emerald tree boa's striking appearance makes it a target for collectors, despite regulations protecting it in many regions. Removal from the wild often results in high mortality rates, both during transport and after capture, as the species is sensitive to stress and environmental change. Each snake taken represents not just an individual loss, but a disruption in the local canopy ecosystem. Conservation efforts face unique challenges. Protecting the emerald tree boa means protecting vertical space, not just land area. Fragmented forests with isolated trees are not sufficient. The species requires continuous canopy corridors that allow movement, hunting, and genetic exchange. This makes it particularly vulnerable to selective logging practices that leave forests standing but structurally broken. Climate change introduces further uncertainty. Shifts in rainfall patterns affect prey availability. Changes in temperature influence activity cycles and reproduction. While the emerald tree boa has demonstrated resilience within stable forest systems, rapid environmental change pushes the limits of behavioral adaptation. Unlike ground-dwelling species, it cannot simply migrate across open landscapes. The canopy is its highway, and when that highway is severed, options disappear. From an ecological perspective, the emerald tree boa occupies a quiet but essential role. By preying on arboreal mammals and birds, it helps regulate populations that might otherwise overexploit fruits, seeds, and foliage. This indirect influence supports forest regeneration and plant diversity. Its impact is subtle, spread over time rather than concentrated in dramatic events, making it easy to overlook but impossible to replace. Modern research increasingly recognizes the importance of such species. Conservation strategies now emphasize ecosystem integrity rather than individual charisma. The emerald tree boa, though visually striking, is valued not just for its beauty but for what it represents, a lineage that has solved the problem of living above the ground with elegance and efficiency. In the end, this snake is defined by balance. It takes only what it needs. It moves only when necessary. It occupies a narrow slice of the world and perfects its use. There is no excess in its design, no wasted motion, no unnecessary risk. The Emerald Tree Boa does not seek attention. It does not announce its presence. It simply exists, suspended between branches, between moments, between strikes. In a forest where everything competes for light, it has chosen shadow. In a world driven by speed, it has mastered patience. Whether it continues to glide through the emerald corridors of the Amazon will depend on whether those corridors remain. Its future, like its life, is tied to the canopy, silent, elevated, and fragile.